How many of you showed up? Because I only seen one person on the stage right now who's here to listen to the people and speak on behalf of the people. When you have politicians that are going to come up here and do that, meanwhile we know they're going to go home and get stomped by the media, you need to stand by these people. This right here is a man of integrity. This right here is a man who believes in Canadian values. This right here is Mayor of Westlake and Dave Bylsma.
These people have been discriminated by other employments, and they are fine people of courage and integrity. And I see a couple of them out here in the crowd today, and I just want you to know, in a small way, this politician also has 2 feet on the ground. I run a business, and I'm trying to undo some of the injustice that our regions, our municipalities are doing to their employees by requiring vaccination and suspending without pay those who refuse to comply. And it's just one of the greatest tragedies. A couple other things that I want to just briefly touch on. Just by being on this stage, we know that next week the news cycle is going to be talking about how the mayor continues to not comply with the narrative and talk about this. So I want you to know, I'm keeping the newsprint industry going. So it's another way that I'm stimulating the economy. There's pressure on them, the bill, they come up with the bill and say, the cost of this is $32,000. Bylsma needs to be, is costing taxpayers. Just want to make a big deal about it. But the reality is we've never made any criminals through the justice system that have been convicted of a crime pay for any of their trials or anything like that. This is nothing more than pandering to the narrative and keeping a lid on free speech. So I'm here not only to represent free speech, but also to deliver free speech. I want to provide some clarity as I see it as an elected official. One of the challenges is often we need to get a new slate of candidates in. And people who love freedom should be running for office. I absolutely agree. But there is a capitulation that has taken place. Elected officials have revoked or acquiesced and given up their responsibilities to make difficult decisions. We have deferred all of that decision making to our public health officials, and unfortunately, it's the public health officials that are running the show right now in Canada, and that's really most unfortunate. And that has happened because elected officials have capitulated. They haven't taken their responsibility. We send people to represent us to make difficult decisions, and I'm not for a moment going to suggest that the choices and the decisions that need to be made aren't difficult. But as an elected official, we need to receive information from public health, but also from economy, from chambers of commerce, from those in mental health, from those in education, from those in religious circles, in the circles of faith, and they need to bring this information to the table so that as elected officials we have all the data necessary to make an informed choice. And I absolutely believe, given that all that information given to the table, we will have a vigorous discussion. We will have a vigorous discussion and make a wise decision on behalf of those people that we represent. You see, we have capitulated. As a collective of people, as elected officials, we have capitulated and deferred all the decision making to public health, and I think that is the real challenge from an elected official perspective. I know that I'm in how would you say, bad company as an elected official, but I'm also a businessman, keeping 2 feet firmly on the ground. I'm also a farmer. I have pigs and I have chickens and I have livestock, and I think that those things keep me very, very grounded. I see the hurt that's happening. And I feel the fear of those in our communities who they're calling me. I'm their representative, and they're calling me and they're telling me about their pain that they've received. from their first dose, and the fact that they now feel trapped between the pain and the anxiety that they're feeling about taking the first dose, and the fact that they're going to lose their job because they're not going to take the second dose. I hear it all the time, and I want you to know that as far as I can, as long as I'm given an opportunity to speak on your behalf, I will continue to do so, asking those difficult questions and representing you. I mean, at the very least, you know, we have a constituency, and so I'm asking questions on behalf of you. If you have questions, feel free to drop me a line, and I will ask those questions. The difficult questions, I will continue to do so. So thank you very much for coming here. It has been an absolute delight to welcome you here, and I look forward to continuing to represent you as long as I can. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mayor Bylsma. This guy's brave. What can I say? And you know, a few months back here, Bradley had a proposition to ask the federal government to send more money to our local medias so that we can have more local news coverage. And you know what? Without Mayor Bylsma, we wouldn't really have a lot to say locally, right? Without us making the paper for trying to sit down and eat them all. Did you know that it's front page news when men and women go to the Penn Center to sit down and eat lunch? That constitutes front page news for the substandard of St. Catharines.